Welcome back everyone. Thank you so much for joining me on my birthday. I am actually pre-filming this a few days before, but when you see it on the 18th will be my actual birthday. So I'm 39 years young today, and I thought I would celebrate by buying a few plants that were on my wish list. I've also got a really exciting giveaway for you. Spider Farmer have kindly donated a SF1000 LED grow light, which is one of the lights that I've been using for over a year. I'm super impressed with it and all my plants seem to be loving it. One of my favourite features about the grow light is that it's dimmable, so you can actually alter the brightness of it throughout the year, which is super handy. I'm actually running the giveaway over on my Instagram page, and I'll leave a direct link to the giveaway below in the description box. If you don't have Instagram, it's free to join, and it's one of my favourite platforms for posting pictures of my birds, my plants, my home decor and my garden. It's really easy to enter. All you have to do is follow myself and Spider Farmer over on Instagram and just tag a couple of friends in the comments. Full details will be under the actual Instagram post, and if you do enter, good luck. Right, on to my birthday plant haul. I've got 4 different plants for you, and all these plants, apart from one of them, have been on my wish list at some point. And the first plant I'm going to show you, I actually only just discovered it quite recently on a Facebook group called Rare and Unusual Plants UK. It's a brilliant group. They have charity auctions every 2 or 3 weeks and an event called Dong, which stands for Deal or No Go. And 2 of the plants I've actually acquired from that auction. So the first plant I'm going to show you is an unrooted cutting that I bought from a lovely lady called Laura, who I think is one of the admins on the Rare Plant group on Facebook, and her Instagram is Aurora Plants. So I purchased this beautiful little cutting. It's pretty small, so you might have to get your magnifying glass out. It's so cute though, and the variegation on it's really, really beautiful. I'll attach a picture on the screen. I loved it so much that I decided to go ahead and bid on a full-size plant on the auction on Facebook. So I ended up winning one of the most beautiful specimens I've ever seen from a lady called Heidi, and her Instagram is Foliage Prints. So this plant is called Alternanthera Party Time. It's also known as Joseph's Coat or the parrot leaf plant. It's native from Mexico to Argentina, where it grows wild in the forests, and you'll quite often see this growing in people's gardens in lovely warm tropical countries. Unfortunately, it's a bit cold here in the UK to grow this in the garden. Although saying that, it might be okay outside in the summer during the day, depending on what kind of summer we get this year. The weather's been so strange this month. We had a little mini heat wave where it was about 20 degrees or 21 degrees. And yesterday it was snowing and there was some hailstones, so it's been really up and down, but it is perfect as a houseplant, and it is the most striking and vibrant plant in my collection at the moment. You just can't miss it in the room. It's so different to all my other plants, and that's what really drew me to it. So this plant is fast growing and apparently very easy to propagate, and you can actually see the growth points on each node. So I believe all you do is just cut above a node and then it will send off shoots from each side from those growth points. So I'm rooting this little cutting in water, and it's already got some quite good roots on it. So the pink will be more intense if this plant's grown in full sun, but if you're growing it inside as a house plant, it's recommended to keep it in bright indirect light, and it does appreciate high humidity and warm temperatures. The Party Time appreciates moist soil but not soggy. I've heard these are quite thirsty plants, so you don't want to be letting the soil dry out too much. I'll hopefully be filming a care tips video on this plant at some point once I've had a bit of experience growing it. Let me know what you think about my first plant in the haul, and if you're growing this plant, if you've got any tips, please feel free to leave them in the comments below. Next up is another beautiful plant that I won on the same event on the Facebook group from a lovely plant collector called El Mini Jungle on Instagram, and this plant is the Cesestis mirabilis, I think that's how you pronounce it. So this plant is native to Africa, and it's also known as the African Embossed Cesestis because of the beautiful pattern and texture on the foliage. This is a climbing species of plant and they can actually start producing fenestrations as they mature. Also, as this plant matures, it actually loses the beautiful pattern on the leaves and they are more of a dark green. This plant's known for being very slow growing, especially here in the UK. And I've heard that sometimes they might not produce a new leaf for 6 to 12 months. So you can imagine my surprise and excitement when it just unfurled this brand new leaf a few days ago. Apparently this plant is edible and can be used to make medicine. The young shoots are cooked as a vegetable along with the inflorescences. Well, I definitely won't be eating mine. Again, I'd love to film a care tips video for this plant when I've got a bit more experience growing it. Currently I've got it under a grow light in my living room and the temperature ranges from 23 to 27 degrees Celsius. I'm trying to keep the humidity above 55%. The central heating will be going off soon, so hopefully we'll get a bit more humidity going then. But all my plants in here seem to have adapted really well to the humidity. Even humidity loving plants like my Queen Anthurium, she's still doing really well, no crispy bits yet. Next up, I've got a plant that's been on my wish list for over a year, and I bought this from a lovely plant collector called Lou, and I also met her through the same Facebook group. So here we have the beautiful alocasia mellow, also known as the rugosa and rhino skin. This is a jewel alocasia native to Borneo. This plant is known for its silvery green, unique and striking foliage. The texture on this plant is unreal, it's absolutely amazing, and the leaves feel really like thick and leathery, and the veining almost reminds me of a maze or even a brain. This is a humidity loving alocasia that doesn't appreciate direct sunlight, so I'll be keeping mine in bright indirect light. It's also prone to root rot, so make sure if you do have one of these you don't overwater it. It does like slightly moist soil, but not quite as much as other alocasia. Apparently it's pretty slow growing, but I just noticed a couple of days ago there is a new leaf coming up. So when I originally received this plant, it had 4 leaves, but it really didn't like being shipped, even though it was 24-hour shipping and it was really well packaged and insulated. It still wasn't happy, so it did actually drop 2 of the leaves, but I don't really mind because there's a new one on the way. So if you have been looking to add this plant to your collection, I would recommend buying it from local growers or collectors rather than importing it, specifically places like Indonesia or Malaysia, because these jewel alocasia are actually being poached from the wild, which is really sad and worrying. Also, they really don't ship well, so you're better off buying a bulb or purchasing it from somewhere local. Just make sure you do your research and find out where the plants come from. I really hope this little guy produces some bulbs soon, because I'd love to grow lots of little baby mellows. But yes, that's just something to be aware of that I actually only found out about recently. So just be aware if you are purchasing jewel alocasia, just find out where they've come from, and ideally just buy from local collectors or growers. I'm also still on the hunt for an alocasia maharani, which is actually a mix of the mellow and the black velvet, but I still haven't managed to get hold of one yet. So the last plant in my haul is another jewel alocasia. This alocasia was grown in Holland by propagation, and I got it from Green's Group online, which is a shop that sells plants and gifts. So this is another sought after jewel alocasia due to its breathtaking and unique foliage. I've never seen anything quite like it. It has got the most striking purple iridescent veining, which looks more pronounced in certain lighting. So sometimes you have to put the flash on your phone or shine a light on it to actually appreciate how beautiful the veining is. This plant is also native to Southeast Asia, a tiny little nation on the island of Borneo called Brunei. A beautiful country covered in tropical rainforest and somewhere I would love to visit one day. So my Aslanii currently has 6 leaves, and one of them just literally unfurled yesterday. Again, I'll be keeping this plant in bright indirect light, warm temperatures and as high humidity as possible. But again, like all the other plants in my living room, I'm sure it will adapt to the environment in here and hopefully it will be happy. Thank you so much for watching my birthday plant haul. I really hope you enjoyed it. If you've got any questions, please leave them below in the comments and I'll do my best to get back to you. So I'm planning on having a few friends round in the garden on the weekend. I'm also going to be uncovering my bar tomorrow, which is really exciting. I haven't seen it for about 6 months. It's probably going to be full of spiders, but nothing will stop me at the weekend if I've got my gazebo and my patio heater, so even if it's snowing, we'll be fine. Anyway, again, thanks so much for watching, and if you enter the giveaway, good luck. Take care everyone, and I'll see you all soon.